What's going on, everybody? So before we get rolling here, this is actually after the activation. I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up as to what to expect. So today's activation, I wasn't even sure I wanted to put it on YouTube because, to be honest with you, it did not go the way I expected it to go. The bands weren't quite as good as I expected them to be. They were amazing earlier. I had some antenna issues. I mean, they weren't big, but it didn't want to tune up as well as I had hoped, or as it usually does. I had some camera issues. The camera kept shutting off on me, and it's also kind of long. So I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up before we got into this, so you knew what you're getting yourselves into. But they don't always go according to plan. I was expecting to just have lots of calls, work some DX. I mean, this morning, 10 meters was just booming. I was working Europe all over the place. But this afternoon, at least where I am with the antenna, what I was using, which should be really good for DX, I wasn't getting anything. And like I said, this one's a little long, a little boring. Things did not go quite according to plan. And like I said, I really wasn't sure I even wanted to post this, but I kind of want people to see what it looks like when they don't all go perfect. You know, I mean, not every one of my activations is pile up city and everything goes exactly according to plan. And, you know, this is how it really is sometimes. So with that being said, I apologize in advance if this one's a little boring and a little weird, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. So with that being said, let's get rolling with the activation. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Oakley Corner State Forest. Today I'm at the other side of the forest from where I normally am. Normally I'm, I don't know, a mile or two that way. Today there's a little parking area here on the other side of the state forest. We're going to be going down this road a ways and setting up for an activation. Apparently this is Toyota Tacoma parking only, I guess. So I figured I'd kind of show you guys what this place is like. I've done little snippets of this. I drove down in the other side one time and you saw that. But I don't normally film my hikes in, but I figured I would today. If you want to skip past this, I'll put chapters in the video so you can just skip ahead to where I'm actually activating. But I figured I'd walk in today and kind of show everybody what this place is like. There's several trails right here that go down to. There's a fairly good sized pond down here. You'll see it in a little bit when I get down to the dam. This is a really good place to fish. You can also put kayaks in there. But right now we're just gonna hike down the trail here. This is like a dirt road, access road for the state. It's also a snowmobile trail. There are a lot of hiking trails in this place. It's a good place to come hike. It's fairly good size. The trails are really well groomed. Well, I shouldn't say really well groomed. They're fairly well groomed. I guess it depends on what your definition of really well groomed are. But like I said, there's several ponds here. We're not going to go to the further one. There's actually two more, but there's another one about a mile out this way, which is much smaller. In fact, if you go watch the video I did on my sort of day hike kit that I had in my Hill People Gear Tarahumara, you'll see the other pond in the beginning of that video. But this isn't a terrible walk in. It's maybe, I don't know, we're gonna go ahead and maybe half a mile, something like that. There you go, there's a better view of the pond, and there's an island sort of in the middle. I've actually never been out on that island. I should go out there sometime. Maybe I'll do an activation from there in the summer, maybe in the spring before it all grows over. But we'll hike down the road here. So right here, you're like right next to the houses and the road and everything. We are way out in the sticks. I'm nowhere near anything, but there are houses literally right here. The road is right there. But the further we go in, the further we'll get away from this. So you'll see this other access gate here. This gate is the snowmobile trail, goes out that way. There's a lot of snowmobile action here in the winter. I apologize if the camera's bouncing around. I don't normally film and walk, but I figured today we'd change things up a little bit. Down here, There are several official campsites. You can camp pretty much anywhere you want in here, as long as you got to be at least 150 feet from water and 50 feet from a trail. Other than that, you can camp anywhere you want in here. But up here on the right-hand side, there are some actual official camping spots, designated camping spots. Oddly enough, I've never camped in any of the designated spots before. I've camped here many, many times, but never in a designated spot. Go figure. This is also a really good spot to collect fatwood. These are all red pines. There's all these downed red pines. So if you're trying to start fire, it's very easy to do. In fact, this one right here, I collect fatwood from this one all the time. I've pulled a pile of it off that to start fires here. So gotten lots and lots of fatwood off that tree right there. But this is a popular place for people to come. The camp spots are back in here. How you doing? Like I said, this is a popular spot for people to come hike and whatnot. Ooh, they closed all the campsites down. These used to be campsites, but I see a camping prohibited sign there now. And this is all blocked off. These used to be official camping spots. Interesting. Huh. I wonder what caused them to do that. There's a camping prohibited sign right there on the tree. These were all like numbered campsites. Interesting. I wonder what caused that. Okay, so I figured I'd come in and take a look at this sign on the way out, and camping isn't prohibited. This is what I thought. So these are legitimate camp spots. Camping prohibited with 150 feet of road, trail or water, like I said before, except at designated locations, which are these spots back here. They don't look like camping spots, but they are. So I was really confused when I saw that sign there, but it doesn't say what I thought it said. So at any rate, these are actual camping spots. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled video. Like I said, you can camp basically anywhere you want back in here though, so I wonder what caused them to close these down. Interesting. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna hike in here a little ways. I'm gonna go to a spot that I've activated at before. I'm actually gonna go to the same basic spot where, if you watch my SW3B kit video, not the one where I show you the kit, but the one where I actually activate with that kit, I'm gonna go to the same basic spot as that. I did not bring a table and chair with me today. We're gonna be on the ground. I didn't feel like carrying all that stuff in here, so I probably won't set up any sort of shelter or anything. I'll probably just throw a tarp on the ground and throw I've got a Thermarest Z seat with me just to sit on the ground. We use the backpack as a desk. And so if you keep going out this way, it takes you out to the other pond. You can also take the snowmobile trail that we passed, goes back that way to the other pond. We're gonna go on this little trail right here. And this will take us down to the little dam. This is a great place to fish too. This is also a good place to mountain bike. Real popular for people to mountain bike here. Now this park gets activated a lot, or this forest, I guess I should say. It's not really a park, it's a state forest, but this gets activated a lot. This is probably the closest park on the western side of the Binghamton, New York area. If you lived over on the eastern side, like Shenango Valley State Park or Skyline Drive State Forest, which I've activated both of those, they're closer, but this is the closest to like anything on the west side of Broome County. I'm actually in Tioga County, New York right now. This is actually the county I grew up in. But like I said, this is an awesome spot. This is a great spot to fish from. And you can see here's the pond. There's that island. like I said, I want to go out there sometime. I've never been on that island. Maybe we'll do an activation from there in the spring. I don't feel like throwing a kayak in the water right now. It's awfully cold. It's maybe, I don't know, it's maybe 42 degrees out here right now. So we're gonna go back in here in these pines. We're actually going to, there's a little trail over here to our right, which we're gonna hop down. And this is gonna take us across a little footbridge back into that pine stand. And one of the nice things about coming here is I don't have to carry water with me, because there is water everywhere. There's that creek, there's a creek right here which feeds into that one. In fact, this creek right here has super clean water in it. So if I need water, I can scoop it up with my grail. We've got birds flying all over me here. All right, so we're gonna come back in here and set up, I think. Basically the same spot I came back in the summer when I did that SW3B activation. It's drier here now, so we're back in the same spot. So there's the pond. There's a little trail that actually goes down to the pond right there. And if you continue, you'll see the trail marker, right? I don't know if you can see it on the tree right there. But if you continue down, there's a trail that runs down along the creek here, way out, and it splits multiple directions. One comes back around, the other one goes out around the other pond. We'll go out there someday and do an activation from there. But I think we'll set up right here. This is basically the same spot where I set up with my SW3B when I shot that video. And then again, you can get right down to the pond from here too. This is also a good place to camp. Yeah. So let's get things set up here. I don't even think I'll cut the video. I think I'll just keep recording while I get everything out. This is covered in pine cones, so there's gonna be sap everywhere. So like I said, we will put something down on the ground so we're not making a giant mess here. Let me get you guys set up someplace here. We'll put you over here in this tree, or next to this tree or something. See if we can get this to stay on the tree. I'm gonna lower this camera down a little bit. It's gonna be a little crooked, but we're gonna stay. Maybe. Sorry about the fingers in the camera, it's hard to do. All right, so we'll go ahead and set up. First things first. Let's take this off of here. This is what I need. Underneath this. This guy down is covered in sap. All right. So strap this guy on the outside of my pack because it is hunting season. I don't particularly feel like getting shot. Actually, I think it's bow season, so I'm not worried about getting shot with a gun, but I don't get shot with an arrow either. So today we're gonna run vertical. And the radio we're going to use today is going to be the FX-4CR. The bands look, they didn't look pretty good this morning. They were pretty good this morning. I worked a bunch of DX on 10 meters this morning, so let's see. We need the radio. Anything else out of here right now? Yep, we need the radials. I don't think we need anything else out of here right now. It is very not warm out here, so I brought my Hill People gear, Mountain Serape again. As it gets colder, that'll transition to the Wilderness Innovation OSNI. All right, so let's go ahead and set the antenna up. I think we'll put the antenna right here. We should have enough room. Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna set you guys back up again. I'm just gonna set things up. I'll make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I think we'll go on the ground this time. I'll set you right here. Make sure everything's in frame though. Yeah, that should work. Okay. I apologize if you can't see what I'm doing. It's very hard to tell in this little tiny viewfinder on this camera if everything's in frame or not. I think it is. It should be. I also apologize if you can't hear me. I'm moving a little bit far away from the camera, but I will try to enunciate so you can actually hear what I'm saying. So first things first, we'll get the tripod out. I'm using the Gable tripod again. I am going to either get or make a ground spike setup for this radio, or for this tripod, or for this antenna. So I don't have to carry this tripod around all the time. It's hard here because the ground is real rocky, so spikes can be hit or miss. We'll go ahead and set this antenna up, get it tuned up. Let's see, probably someplace in this general vicinity. Try to get this as level as I can get it. Doesn't need to be perfect, but get our whip. So I think we'll start on 20 and go up from there. Like I said, the bands appeared to be in pretty good shape today. So grab some coax. I'm not going to run RG316 today because if I am running some of the higher bands, that's pretty lossy. I mean, this isn't great either, but it's better than RG316. So RG8X. Right about there. So we got our radial set up. This antenna is fairly easy to set up. It doesn't take a whole lot. Oop. Until I tip it over. Try not to tip it over again. This wire doesn't tangle very much. Putting these radios out is not a huge task. I'd don't normally show antenna setups, but I've never shown the setup of this antenna before, so I figured I would. Normally I'd run a wire antenna from here, but because I probably will operate some of the higher bands, maybe we'll try to work some DX. I figured a vertical might be in order. Now I have messed with window screen, I've messed with Faraday cloth. I have not gotten terribly good results out of either one. Some of that may have to do with ground conductivity around here, but I just haven't had very good success with it. Some people swear by it, that's fine, but for me, I just have not had good luck with it. Now this radial field, however, works like gangbusters. So that's what I'm going to run because it gets the job done. Let's get our second set of radials on here. Yes, this does take a little bit longer than using Faraday cloth or something, but like I said, I have not had particularly good luck with that, so. I may revisit it at some point, but this works so good. Right now I don't see any need to. These are orange. Hopefully it'll keep people out of the radial field if they come stumbling through here. Like I said, this is a fairly popular place for people to hike, so. It is a Friday, but it's also a holiday. So the chances of running into people out here are fairly good. On the flip side though, it is not very warm. So maybe I won't see as many people as I normally would. That's, I don't know, it's in the 40s probably, low 40s. How's it going? All right. You looking for a specific trail?
Trail 1, I guess.
Are you trying to go around the big pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go out that way.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Can you see that?
Oh, this one, yeah.
All right. All right, so now we've got everything set up. We'll dial this in on 20 meters. Theoretically. Too far. The yard's a little high. This antenna I can usually get dialed in pretty good. It's going up. This is where these can get a little finicky. Yeah, I don't like that. Interesting. I can't get the SWR very good. 1.6 is about as good as I can get. Again, that may have something to do with the ground. If that's all we can get, that's all we can get. Yeah, I've got like a 1.6 to 1, which is usable. Not amazing. Well, I got a 1.6 to 1. We'll see what the radio says. Sometimes the radio disagrees with the nano VNA. So, like I said, I can't get my SWR amazing. It's in the 1.6 to 1 range. Let's hook it up to the radio. See what the radio says. So, oh, I knocked you over. I apologize. Let's see if we can get this to stay up. The ground is not very level here, so I'll bring you out off of this. Get the fork a little better. See, I'm falling down again. Man, you guys are hitting the ground multiple times here. I apologize. It's let's see if we can dig you into the ground a little bit. There we go. That might work. Okay, let's try that. At least for now, for starters. We may have to move you again, but all right. So let's get the radio out. Like I said, we're going to run the FX-4CR today. Running the Bamatech key. And once I get everything out, I'll make sure everything's in frame. So if it's not right now, don't worry, it will be. Okay, so let's see what the radio says the SWR is like, because like I said, sometimes the radio and the nano VNA don't agree, and ultimately all I care is what the radio thinks. If the radio's happy, I'm happy. If the radio's not happy, then we need to rethink things. So, battery hooked up. Let's get our key hooked up. Let's see. Keys over here. All right. Let's get this radio up so you guys can see it a little better. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, let me get my pad. And normally I write my log stuff before I start. Today I did not. So we are at Kilo 5221. We're going to start on 20. Today is 11. What's that, the 9th, 10th? I should know this. My birthday is Sunday. 10, 23. We're going to go call, RST, state, time. And it is currently 12:42 p.m. So they can make it 1700. All right. So let's see what the radio says the SWR is like. First things first, let me see what's my side tone volume. That's up as high as it'll go, I think. This says 1.3. Radio says 1.3 to 1. I'm good with that. So. Radio, if you look right here, it might be hard to see, but radio says 1.3 to 1. I'm okay with 1.3 to 1. That is totally usable. So we are going to go ahead and get things rolling here. I'm trying to get you guys situated. The ground is extremely unlevel here. There are roots from these pine trees and all sorts of stuff here. I'll try to get you in a position where you can actually see what's going on. Hopefully you can see that. It looks like everything's in frame. All right, so let's call QRL. Hopefully you can hear this. Like I said, I've got the side tone up all the way. It might be a little quiet. If it is, I apologize. Like I said, that's as loud as that side tone will go, I think. Yep. What's my power at? 5 watts, okay. So let's just, do I have any cell service at all? I normally don't out here. I have a little bit. Let me just make sure there's nobody on 057. And I apologize if this video's run super long. I mean, we're already 29 minutes in, but like I said, I kind of wanted to just show you guys what it was like here. So let me just see if there's anybody on this frequency. I don't hear anybody, but I want to make sure there's not other park on this frequency. I may not have enough cell service. It's loading very slowly, but we'll let it go. All right, I don't hear anybody. So I'm gonna move the radio a little closer to you guys so that side tone's a little louder. Hopefully you can hear it. You won't be able to see much of the screen. There'll be a glare, but. All right, here we go. Oh. Let's make that side tone a little bit higher pitched. See if that helps. Oh. Again, I apologize if you can't hear that side tone. It's not very loud, but I can't turn it up any higher. Well, might be a slow one. Let's give it a little more power. Not that that'll make much of a difference, but. Somebody there. Yep. He's caught lots of QSB. I can't get that number. 9. Man, these signals are weak. Lots of QSB. That was a strong one. Ooh. 7-9. It's 51. IGS. Oops. It's not morning. Keeps on a good morning. I'm so used to doing morning activations. It'll be Ontario. Yep. I heard a 4 MI. Gotcha. I had an N4 in there. Someone's calling CQ underneath me. All right, I'm gonna have to QSY because somebody's calling CQ directly underneath me. That's obnoxious. I don't know why people need to do that. There's no way you can't hear me, man. If I can hear you, there's no way you can't hear me. All right, so we're gonna QSY. That's obnoxious. That seems to happen to me a lot. I just get random people calling CQ under me. All right, there's somebody there. Turn my key speed down one. I had an N4 something, and then that guy started calling CQ. All right. Hopefully you can hear that side tone. Like I said, that's as high as it'll go. It's louder with an external speaker, but the audio from the Hunters is good, so. Fingers like ice cubes. I hate I don't have to change frequencies because now people got to find me again. Huh. We had a good run there until I had to change frequencies. Where'd everybody go? Well, that's interesting. I'm spotted. Wisconsin. Yep. I had an N4 again. I think it's probably the same guy. DPM. Here. Yep. Wow, QSB is deep. Other Florida. Gotcha. And he's booming in. Listen to that QSB. Yep. Ki-8i. Wait. Yep. Virginia. I think we'll QSY. All right, so let's go ahead and change bands. We got, so far, there's a lot of QSB. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. We got 13 right now. So let's go ahead and turn this radio off. And let's go ahead and tune this antenna up on 15. So, pardon me for just a second here. I just want to check something. I apologize for all the airplane noise too. They're a little loud right now. So let's go ahead and let's set this nano VNA up for 15. So we're gonna go stimulus. Because I don't have it saved in here, so we're gonna start at 21.025 megahertz. And we're gonna stop at, well, let's see if this is gonna work. So the camera quit, and then I tried to film again, and then it quit again. Then I tried again, and then it quit again. Then I tried again, and then it quit again. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this keeps recording. So at any rate, we're gonna go ahead and tune this antenna up on 15 meters. I've got everything set. So we're gonna go ahead and tune this thing up. So let me go ahead and set the camera up so you guys can see. Sorry if this video is a little weird. I wasn't really planning on shooting a video today, but I figured, well, the weather was halfway decent, I might as well. Okay, let's go ahead and tune this thing up on 15. We'll see if it tunes any better than it did on 20. So, let's go ahead and go to sort of. All right, let's see what we can get here. Look at that. 1.1. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Tuned up a whole lot better on 15 meters. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring you guys back over. Hopefully this camera keeps recording. It is right now. Like I said, I don't know what happened before. It was strange. Sometimes that'll happen. These GoPros are not the greatest cameras ever. And it went beep, beep, beep and stopped recording. I said, well, that's strange. So then I started recording again, and it immediately did the same thing. And I started recording again, and then it immediately did the same thing. So hopefully, we'll move you guys over here. Nah, I think we'll leave you where you were. I do want to plug you back in though, because the battery on this thing's not amazing. I had to unplug you, so let's make sure this works. I don't think it's charging. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hopefully the battery doesn't die on me. It is definitely not charging. The battery bank says it is, but the camera says it's not. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and aim you guys back down again. All right, let's get the radio fired back up. Now we're at 15. We'll change bands. Okay, so we're gonna go 15 meters. All right. Power up. All right, I do believe we have a clear frequency. So, let's go ahead and call CQ. Let's see what happens. Ooh. All right, I hit the RBN. I apologize if you can't see me keying. I'm sitting on the ground, so it's hard to get everything in frame. Maybe I didn't hit the RBN. No, I did. I 100% did. Hmm, 15 meters might be kind of lonely. Well, huh. My goodness, I was expecting more calls than this on 15. I guess the bands were in great shape earlier before I left the house. Huh. Well, we might get skunked on 15. We'll call CQ a few more times. We'll see what happens. We might shoot over to 10 and see what happens, maybe. Huh. I heard something. Well, maybe we won't get any hits on 15. That surprises me. Last weekend, 15 was booming. I was working Europe. Whoa. All right, I'm gonna call CQ one more time on 15 meters. If we don't get any bites, we're gonna go straight to 10. All right, you know what? We're gonna QSY straight to 10 meters. Like I said, I was working Europe earlier on 10, so. Okay, so, oh. I think that was AD0SN again. Well, we got one bite on 15. We'll try calling CQ one more time on 15. All right, let's try 10. Okay. Wow, that was unfruitful. Okay, so again, we'll get the Nano VNA set up here because I don't have 10 meters stored in it. So we're just gonna go change our stimulus here. So I don't know if you guys probably won't be able to see because there's quite a glare. So we're gonna go stimulus, start, and we'll start at the bottom of 10 meters, which should be 28 megahertz, 28.00, oops, 0.00 megahertz. I don't know if you guys can see that screen or not, probably not. We're gonna go stop. We'll stop it at 28.100. I don't need a ton. All right, so let's try tuning it up on 10 here and see what happens. Like I said, 10 meters was really, really good earlier. 12 was too. I was in really good shape earlier. So let's see what we can do on 10. It's obnoxious too because it 10 or 12, 15 meters tuned up beautifully. But let's see if we can get 10 usable here. We may not be able to get 10 usable. Might need to pull in some radials actually. It's a lot of radials. Let's do this. Let's reel in some of these radials. See if that makes any difference. Sometimes it does. is that 15 tuned up beautifully. And if we can't get it to tune on 10, we can't get it to tune on 10. It's not a big deal. We've got a valid activation. It was a whole lot slower than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to just be like last weekend where it was just wall-to-wall pileups. That is not how today is. So, now granted, last weekend it was both POTA and SOTA, and I was up a whole lot higher. But all right, let's see if we can get anything reasonable here. If we can't, we can't. It's not a big deal. Nah, I don't think it's going to tune up on 10. I've tuned it up on 10 before, but not with this radial setup. Yeah, I can't get much better than a 2-to-1 here. No. Okay, well, that's okay. We got a valid activation. I apologize if that was really disjointed, kind of boring. That activation absolutely 100% did not go the way I expected it to go. Like I said, I was really expecting a lot of calls today. Just with the way the bands were at home, I was expecting to get all sorts of calls. But as you can see, that's not the way it went. And that's the way it goes sometimes, right? I mean, they're not all pileups wall to wall. And today, obviously, you can see that. That radio works really good. Like I said, the audio from the internal speaker is a little quiet. At least on the side tone side. And the signals were not super strong today. There was a lot of QSB. There wasn't earlier, so I don't know if something changed, if solar conditions changed between when I left the house and now. I didn't check them since I got here because I have very limited cell service here, if any. Every once in a blue moon, I get a sliver. But other than that, I mean, this antenna works good. You know, I used it last weekend to great effect. The signals just were not amazing today. And it is what it is. So with that being said, like I said, I apologize if this one was a little boring and a little weird, but I did kind of want to just hike in and show you where I was activating from, kind of show you around a little bit. And I wanted to include tuning the antenna so you could see what that looked like. So hopefully I didn't bore you to tears. And I think next time we go out, I'm thinking maybe the TX500 and a wire antenna will be the radio and antenna of choice. And we'll see how that goes. But at any rate, thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, hopefully this one wasn't deadly boring. With that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and 7-3.